This thing's gonna be massive.
This is big boy stuff.
This boat's gonna be able to drive sideways.
Didn't the three little pigs teach you anything?
Oh, you don't say that word.
We're not in the water.
Well, you can't curse this boat already. Sell it.
We're done.
End of the boat series. Thank you, Better Wild, for sponsoring the video and helping support the boat build. All right, another day, the boat build. Today we're working on two of the most important parts of the boat. Probably will say that a lot throughout this build. So there's a lot of pieces in this boat. You could make the case that they're the most important parts of the boat, but today we are working on two that have a pretty good case of that. The steering and the fuel tanks. Without steering and without fuel, this boat is going nowhere. So the plan for this video is to start finishing the steering system. It's temporary in place, but there needs to be a lot of fiberglass work done to support and strengthen the steering system. It's a big stainless, it's really cool. We'll go into details in another video soon. What makes this steering system so special? It is state of the art. And as far as I know, there's only one of them in another lobster boat. They put them in a couple tuna boats, but this is only the second lobster boat this steering system has been in. It's a pretty new system. It looks bulletproof. It looks like it should be in a museum. It's pretty. Pretty isn't a word you picture when you think of boat steering, but it is beautiful. So we need to reinforce all of the fiberglass that the steering is going to be mounted to so that we can turn the boat. We got a bunch of fiberglass work to do there. Then we have a bunch of fiberglass work to do in the fuel tanks too. We got to get them wrapped up so we can get the fuel tanks set back down in the floor so we can start building and figuring out our deck heights.
So basically, you're saying that the steering isn't gonna be any good if we can't have something to hold it in place.
We need something strong holding it.
That's a simple sum up.
Yeah. So the fuel tanks, once they're complete, are gonna drop back down in here. And the reason we're working on them now is because we have to get them down in this hole before we can begin building the deck above them. And we need to figure out the deck heights, figure out where we're gonna cut the tops of the tanks off. We could cut these down a little bit. We're trying to leave the fuel tanks as tall as we possibly can. So we're waiting till the last minute to cut the tops of the tanks off so we can get them as high as possible. So the gap between the tanks and the floor is as small as possible. We figure might as well make the most use of this space as we can. The bigger the fuel tanks we can put in here, the better. We got extra ballast counterweight and then extra range for long trips if we end up going on any trips. This space is not usable for anything else, so it might as well be diesel fuel. So this is what we gotta figure out pretty soon. Somewhere down in here, these all gotta get cut down. Somewhere like that. But we don't know exactly where they're gonna get cut off yet. So first we need to finish the fuel tanks, get them set down in here. Then we're gonna figure out where we're gonna cut all these down. And then we're gonna build, same as this, but it's gonna be 1-inch Kusa. We're gonna lay over the top of this and it's all gonna get glassed together. A pretty typical way of building a boat is using fiberglass I-beams or wooden beams. Historically, that's what has usually been used, is wooden stringers, kind of like a deck on a house. But with advanced materials, people are starting to go towards composite materials. Even today, a lot of people will just replace the wooden stringers with fiberglass I-beams, which is a great way to do it. But what's cool about this, you could probably come up with advantages for either way. Each one has pros and cons. What I love about this is the whole entire boat gets tied together. So you got a 1-inch deck over the top of all of these stringers that we're building, and it's all gonna be connected. So this is basically acting like a giant stringer now. This is gonna be connected to the floor. There's gonna be ribs running this way, and everything gets tied together and glassed as one solid piece. So this boat from the deck down is gonna be tied together. It's gonna be really hard to twist this boat and move it. It's gonna be a solid piece.
One thing that just blew my mind when you were showing where the deck's gonna be, I was looking at the rail height when you did that.
Especially in the stern.
That's what I mean.
Stern's pretty tall. All right, quick break from fiberglassing. We got a little side mission we gotta go on. I don't know if you've seen the boat shop dog around the boat shop, but he's super cool. His name's Gus, and he's actually my nephew. Gus! Come here, Gus! He's like, what do you mean? Here he comes. Big mean bark. You coming? Hey! Oh, good boy. This is Gus, the boat shop dog. What do I got? Thank you, Better Wild, for sponsoring the video and helping support the boat build. Better Wild are soft chew supplements. Poor gut health can lead to allergies that trigger paw licking, head shaking, itching, scratching, biting, ear infections, and red patchy skin. That's why Better Wild Allergy Relief Chews are scientifically formulated to boost your dog's gut and boost their immune system. Is that good? He's like 5 times the size of my dog. He's like, yeah, I'm going home. What do you think? Oh, you come back for more? You're not going home just yet? So 90% of dogs' immune system lives in their gut. Right, Gus? And the Better Wild make their gut healthier and stronger, giving them a better immune system. They're created by a team of top vets and nutritionists. So instead of just masking the symptoms, Better Wild actually helps improve the problem at its core. So if you've got a dog at home that shows any of these allergy symptoms, the scratching, the ear infections, the paw licking and biting, and itchy skin, head on over to Better Wild. You can use the link in the description and this discount code to get a discount on your order. It's Knowles November, but it's just N-O-V and it's all capital. So Knowles N-O-V, try Better Wild for your pup. So far, Gus is loving them. I'm gonna bring some home to my pup. I got an old Maltese at home. We're gonna let him try him because he does have all of these symptoms. The poor bugger's going blind. That looks fun. That motor's gonna be big back here. We can keep it pretty up and down as possible.
Well, we gotta utilize the brackets though, so I mean it's gonna be kind of out like this because you only have 5 inches. You can only go so far because your housing's so big. The top is a 9-inch housing that sets over the top of that. So in here, even though your holes that you're drilling in here, your motor still may hit here. She is big rigging. I loved it.
Yeah, I was quite surprised when it said 10 horsepower.
This is shaft here that slides automatically down over. So by rights, you and I should be able to shimmy this thing.
That's a cool setup. Ain't that smooth. The ones we got now, you turn them, they're all floppy and loose. And here's the shaft that goes down to the rudder, and these are the bulkheads that are gonna give it strength that we're gonna mount the steering ram to. So we gotta get these bulkheads glassed in, and we gotta get them strong. These bonding straps are cool too. These are what connect the zincs on the outside of the boat. The zincs are the sacrificial pieces of metal. Well, they have to be connected to the important parts of the metal to work. This is what connects them all. And usually they're done with wires, and over time the wires corrode and fail, and you have to change them and chase them down. These are done with actual straps, and they're inside the fiberglass. You can see them running all the way up to the engine, to the important parts of the boat, to tie everything together so the zincs work, and they last forever because they're embedded inside of the fiberglass resin. What is crazy about fiberglass is that it literally just feels like a piece of fabric. It has no strength to it. It's not strong. You can just rip this in half with your fingers. It doesn't seem like something that could possibly be strong, but it's only when you combine it with the resin and the hardener, the two different structures. The resin isn't very strong either, so neither of them are very strong on their own, but when you put them together, it creates a super strong, super light structure. I don't know the science. I assume the science behind it is these fibers. So these fibers are hard to pull apart. This fiberglass is just made up of a bunch of little hair-like textures. I assume when the resin gets in there and hardens it up, all of these fibers have tensile strength, which is just the strength of something pulling apart. And the combination of all the different directions that these fibers are run gives it tensile strength in all directions, and that's what makes it so strong. I like to geek out at stuff like this. Kind of interesting.
For people that haven't worked with it, what's it like working with fiber?
Man, it's plenty itchy. You feel like you've been in a fight with a whole million mosquitoes when you get done. So that's why I've been wearing a suit now.
That's a big batch of resin.
Yeah, hot one.
That goes in the middle. Yeah.
These 18s, we gotta make sure they're wet. There's no more white in it.
Oh, that loose resin?
No, not the loose resin. This really white stuff like
Okay,
that.
okay.
See that?
Yeah.
You can get rid of that. It's because the glass hasn't, in between the areas of the glass, it hasn't soaked in enough. It's just thick, heavy material.
Yeah.
Don't worry about your corners trying to get that out, because when we put the gussets in, I gotta tape up onto here anyway.
Okay.
All right, grab your air roller. I'm gonna start on this one.
Just air all this out?
Yep. You can't roll like that. This stuff has to be rolled like.
Okay, all that's there.
Yep.
All right, the reinforcements are They're looking pretty good. These are just gussets, and these make this piece a lot stronger. We've got some here too, and then this is where the rams are gonna sit. The ram will get mounted right onto this piece of fiberglass, good and strong, not gonna go anywhere. This stuff takes quite a bit of abuse back here. Vibration, especially over time. If you have any shape back here, if you get rope in the wheel, whatever, all of this takes a lot of abuse. I've seen a lot of different designs of this, and a lot of times they'll break right here. That's why we need to beefing it up. We're also going to put some supports on the back side, but we have a little surprise going back here. I've been teasing this, but I might as well just reveal it. Similar to the bow thruster in the front of the boat, we're also going to have a thruster in the back of the boat. And it's something that I've never seen done in a lobster boat, never seen it done in a purse seine boat, but the main reason I want to do it is for purse seining. It would be extremely handy for purse seining. You've seen in some of the videos where we go catch our own bait, we'll use a skiff to tow the boat away from the net, and it ends up taking a whole person's job is to get in the skiff and tow the boat away from the net while we're working. This is going to allow me to take that person's job right at the helm and control the boat, and this boat will actually be able to drive sideways. These thrusters are electric thrusters. Sleipner, S-L-E-I-P-N-E-R, and they're an electric thruster. We'll show them to you in a minute. They're actually in a box right under the boat, and they're extremely cool. Each one is 10 horsepower. So we got basically a 10 horsepower motor in the back of the boat and one in the front of the boat. This boat's gonna be able to drive sideways.
You got big boy rigging. I'm talking big boy rigging. That motor,
Holy.
16 inches when this is all together.
Is that the part that's 60 pounds right there?
This is what goes on. This goes on top of the tube. This bolts to that, and this is what sets on top of that.
Oh, look at the size of that
That's
motor.
what sets in the stern. We gotta really have a game plan
Some room, yeah.
when we go figuring that. We have enough room. I pulled all measurements last night, but down forward, Jacob, that going,
Banging around, yeah.
you just crash it on top of that, and it's being held by those.
Yeah. That's a cool thruster.
This is big boy stuff. I hauled that out and I went, oh my god.
See, it's equivalent to 9.9 horse, 9.9 horsepower. So it'll be super handy just maneuvering it, getting in and out of the harbor, in and out of docks. Like, I think it's going to be used all the time, but the primary reason for it is to, one, push the boat away from the net when we have a net full of fish, but it's also going to push the net away from the boat. So it's going to be extremely handy keeping the net away from the wheel.
I don't think people understand how stressful that is.
It's the worst part of person.
All of
is
us.
keeping that net out of that wheel.
Right here, pull it. Keep coming up.
Is he pulling? You gotta get those. Get the corks out of there. Pull them, roll them, miles. You gotta pull. A lot of people put cages on the boats and wrap the wheel in a big stainless cage, and it'll keep the net from being able to catch on anything, but it slows the boat down. And traveling long distances, I don't want to slow the boat down. I think this is going to be a really good solution. I'm super pumped about it. We're going to actually put a thruster tube, a 10-inch tube, is going to be half inside of the boat back here and half outside of the boat. So it's going to be a unique design. So back here will be the electric motor mounted inside of that tube. We're going to have to cone shape and fare the thrusters so that it ejects the water as perpendicular to the boat as possible, so it's not shooting backwards. So we got a little bit of design to do. This will be in a future video, but I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be not only handy for maneuvering, but such a dream for seining. With that said, we have electronics back here. We're going to have an electric motor. We have the steering system. We have autopilot sensors, lights, bilge pumps. There's all kinds of stuff, electric stuff back here, and we want to keep it dry. Something interesting that we do with boats is we try to compartmentalize any areas that could leak or fail or potentially cause water to come in and sink a boat. And this is one of them. This is one of the through hulls where we go through the hull. The shaft, steering shaft has to go through. So this is a potential failure point. It's built extremely rugged and safe. From Wesmac, their design is really good, but sometimes you could unstep a rudder if a log or something hits a rudder, or if you're over, where was that? The UK, the killer whales were blowing the rudders out of the boats.
That was wild.
Yeah, and they were sinking the sailboats. The killer whales were blowing the rudders out. So anyway, if you blow a rudder out and this shaft falls down through, you got a 2-inch hole right in the back of your boat shooting water up, which you don't have to be a boater to know that that's not ideal. So given that this area has a higher risk of having a leak than other areas in the boat, that's what these two panels are for. Not only are these floor stringers tying the entire deck together and giving support to the deck, but they're also creating a watertight lazarette. A lazarette is the area in the stern of the boat where the rudder shaft is, and it makes it so this area could have a hole in it and it could completely fill full of water and the rest of the boat would be safe and the rest of the boat would still float. It'd be a little bit heavier because this compartment would be full of water. I want to use the analogy of Big Black boat. The Big Black cruise ship did something similar to this and it was supposed to be unsinkable, but for some reason theirs didn't work. So we're just going to not talk about that.
Yeah.
This one's gonna work. They tried to do something similar with that one, but for some reason the doors didn't close or something, I don't know.
Different name, more fun.
Different time, yeah, different technology. We got newer tech, we got composite material, something. They did it wrong, I don't know what, but that boat was supposed to be unsinkable. This design is supposed to make the boat more unsinkable. This will be completely sealed off. This whole area right here will be one room. If we have a leak, it could fill full of water and the rest of the boat will be fine. Another thing that I'm gonna try to do is, usually you'll put a hatch right over the top of your steering rams, so that way when you need to get down there and work on them, you can work on it down through the hatch. Because usually you don't have enough room down in here to get in and work on it. So you end up working on it through the hatch, and it's extremely uncomfortable and hard to get to stuff. It's just small enough to not really be able to fit down there, and just big enough to reach down through the hatch to work on. So it's kind of uncomfortable to work on stuff, but this boat is large enough and deep enough that you can actually make a small room back here, put some lighting in, and get right inside and not have to put a hatch over the top. The problem with the hatch over the top is they always end up leaking water. Either you don't dog them down, or eventually they get old and start to leak. But either way, you have all of this electric components back here and you got water dripping down on top of it, makes everything fail and corrode and get older earlier than it should. So the plan is to put the hatch up here, enter down into the lazarette here. There will be another wall right here, which again will help tie the deck together, tie the whole boat together. And in this wall will be a door. There'll be a hatch to come down in. This area can be used as storage. Then you can go through this door into the actual lazarette, where if you need to work on autopilots, thrusters, steering, it'll be nice and dry. There should be never any water here. We're gonna put a hose through here with a through hull. So there will actually be two watertight compartments back here because of this door. That side will be able to be watertight. This side will be able to watertight. There'll be a bilge pump here and you can drain the aft part of the boat into here. So getting a little carried away with my descriptions, but I'm excited about this part. It's a cool setup, cool design, I'm excited. Inevitably we will end up with some water back here. So there will be a bilge pump here that will pump all of this area out. For the most part it should stay fairly dry back here, which would be nice. Now moving on to the fuel tanks. We gotta get them ready to go.
Two faces and those two insides. This whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing.
Whole thing and this whole thing.
Okay.
Same here.
All right.
We're gonna gloss the front of this.
All right, so the plan now, while we wait for that glass to harden, I'm gonna put another layer of glass on the fuel tanks. Face mask is good as long as there's not fiberglass inside the face mask, right? Oh yeah.
Alright, I'll tell you where to put it. And I'm gonna do that. I want her down about an inch off the bottom, right there.
What is this, just to thicken it up?
Sealing it and thickening it up. You tape the sides now and see how these, each one tie into these
Yeah.
tapes are staggered, so everything is one solid sheet of glass now. This one's gonna go 2 inches on this side and 2
2 inches
inches up there.
Got it.
Pull her up. You rub your hands right on it and you take your wrinkles right out.
High up high enough?
Yeah, you're good. Let this one out. See this white like that?
Yeah.
Let her right out. Always start up high.
Yeah.
Because any of your stuff, gravity is just gonna let you work it down. And with these, you can push hard, Jacob.
Okay.
Same thing, 2 and 2.
It's crazy something so flimsy can be so strong.
Isn't that crazy? Years ago when I first started, it absolutely amazed me. I mean, you think about it. This boat started its life out in a cardboard box.
Yeah.
Same thing, 2 and 2. Boat right there.
Pretty close, yeah.
Alright, so we have finished applying glass to all sides. Once again, these things are getting heavier and more rugged by the minute. Solid tanks. And I've also learned that these are built out of a higher quality resin. So you have 2 different kinds of resin, vinyl ester and polyester. Polyester is kind of porous and it can seep through. It's not as good of a seal, it's not as strong, and it's not as hardy against corrosive materials like a bilge pump or oil or diesel fuel or gas. So polyester is kind of the cheaper resin. Vinyl ester is much stronger and it holds up against those chemicals. So these are built 100% out of vinyl ester resin. I actually made the executive decision, given that we saved a few $1,000 in the last video. I've already spent that savings. We decided to build the entire boat out of vinyl ester resin, which is an extra $800 per barrel. So it's quite a bit of extra cost, but it'll be nice to know that all of the fiberglass in this boat is going to be very permanent fiberglass, and it'll hold up to anything. Usually they only use it in areas where it's going to be exposed to diesel fuel or oil or toxic chemicals or anything, so it doesn't delaminate and it can't soak through.
Didn't the 3 little pigs teach you anything?
Oh, you don't say that word.
We're not in the water.
Well, you can't curse this boat already.
It's not, we're not in the water. She's not named. She's not.
Don't say that word. Land or not.
Well, those 3, you know that story.
Okay,
You
yeah.
build out of straw, you build out of
That's right.
you build out of brick.
This is brick.
We're building out of
Built
brick.
out of straw and it's cursed. Didn't even get the boat in the water and it's already heard the P word.
Oh my word.
No, not good, not good. Sell it, sell it.
We'll sell it. We're done.
End of the boat series. The next task is to climb inside of these things and see if I can break my wrist. We gotta drill hundreds of holes. I'll explain that in a second. Think that'll push her?
Holy.
That's the electric motor that runs the thruster. There'll be one of these in the front of the boat and one of these in the back.
Oh my God, that thing is huge.
A gigantic electric motor. It's huge. It's a 10 horsepower motor and it has 2 of these propellers
2?
on each. There's 2 in the front, 2 in the back. And they go like that.
Wow.
I think we ought to be able to do about a knot sideways.
How many times are you gonna pretend to push off like the dock at the end of the day and hit that thing on?
I'm gonna tell you to tie the boat up and I'm just gonna push it out away from the boat. You're gonna hold the rope, you're gonna be hanging onto the boat, I'm just gonna be pulling it away from you. Tristan, hold the rope! We'll be installing this in the video coming soon. That stern part's gonna take a little figure and it's gonna be interesting. Is that propeller over there still? That's a beefy propeller, huh?
And 2 of them?
2 of them. It's got like a gearbox. So the motor spins this, and then it goes down into a gear, and it spins both sides.
No,
There's a
that's
propeller on
awesome.
Each side. Super cool.
I said I love how every time you come around the corner, you just have cool, neat stuff each time.
Well, thank you for saying I'm cool. All right, a little less talk and a lot more action. We got a lot of holes to drill. This is sketchy. I don't like doing this.
Not wearing this the first few days. As miserable as they are, it was a lot better.
Muscles and Brussels.
Oh man, this is gonna suck.
Look at the teeth on those things. That's some heavy duty grit right there.
All right, so the trick to this is if you go nice and slow, there's a very good chance that it twists your wrist and strains your wrist. So instead, you go wide open, just as fast as the drill will go. You want a high likelihood of straining your wrist or a slight chance of breaking your wrist? If you want the slight chance of a break, go fast. If you want a high likelihood of a sprain, go slow. All right, so what we're doing is drilling tons of holes, because this is the inside of the fuel tank. And the inside of the fuel tank has a bunch of baffles, and these baffles give the tank strength, but they also keep the fuel from sloshing around too much. So they're kind of barriers that allow fuel to go through, but allow it to go through slowly. They restrict the fuel movement inside. Mike has already done some of them. We have a bunch more we gotta drill out, so here we go.
He told me to make him look neat. I don't know what that means. I wonder if he's gonna have company down here in the fuel tanks. One down, 100 to go. We should sell these.
We should make like keychains out of them. People could hang them on their mirror. You could have part of the boat. Is that a stupid idea or a cool idea? Would anybody want these?
Maybe engrave initials on it too.
Let me know. We're just gonna throw them away. We could put the name. We could put the alley.
Yeah.
FV Alley A.
Yeah.
We could write FV Alley A and we could put a chain on it. It could be a bling. We could sell necklaces. Paint it gold. FV Alley A gold chain.
That would be a good idea.
We're gonna throw them away anyway, so let me know in the comments if anybody wants a
Piece of
of
boat.
fiberglass so you can itch with me. That is a miserable task trying to fit in there and drill them out. But I got most of that tank finished. Got a few more holes to drill. My batteries and me are dead as well. That was hot. We got one more baffle to do. One more little section to do in that one. And then we have a whole other tank to do. But anyway, made pretty good progress in this one. A lot of smaller progress. We're starting to run into some of the smaller, tedious jobs. So far in the build, we've been doing larger, satisfying, a lot of visual progress. But a lot of this stuff under the floor is time consuming and not too visually satisfying, but it's progress nonetheless. I think in the next one, hopefully the fuel tanks are done, steering is in, and we get to start on that stern thruster tube, which is gonna be very interesting. I'm excited and nervous about it. Let's see if Noah likes him real quick. Noah's just as cool as Gus, right? Oh, here's Bobo's. Noah's probably still trying to find his way here. I wasn't joking when I said he was pretty much blind. There you go. Here comes Noah. Hey, fat dog. Come here. He says, where are you? Hey, right here. There you go. Looks like they're Noah and Bo approved as well.